It's all made from garbage and trash. I love dancing. Like I dance with them and I put on the costume and dance. I use a lot of, it's called pine needle.
The tree?
The tree. There was rice falling from the ceiling. Before art, I learned how to make shoes. It was a teddy bear. And on the back of the teddy bear, it had a name, Liam, on it.
Yeah.
I'm Josh Sin. I'm an artist, designer, and world builder living in Portland, Oregon. I am originally from Toronto, Canada. My parents are from Hong Kong and they immigrated to Canada back in the 1980s. I've been living in the US for the past 14 years as an immigrant. We are currently in Portland, Chinatown area at the Golden Horse area.
Great.
在 Portland 遇见 Josh 是个惊喜，他有着年轻的东方面孔，从小就开始接受体操冠军的专业训练。钢琴家的专业训练，还有工业设计和制鞋工艺的专业训练，那些数千小时精益求精的重复训练和记忆打磨，成就了一个对细节与平衡完美把握的艺术家。解读他的作品得从倾听思想开始，因为心法决定了艺术的最终高度。他提到的世界公民理念让我深感他乡遇不知的喜悦。人类在共享同一个心灵，艺术与文明真正的底色是走出象牙塔，打破界限，水乳交融，空生妙有。
What I found really interesting between Western and Eastern roots is a very different perspective, and there's studies around this. There's a study done at University of Michigan, and they talk about how Eastern way of thinking is very community driven. However, on the Western side, it's very individualistic here. It's very much about like me and myself, and you can almost see that with a lot of the art shows here. It's about like, who are you as a human? Who are you? Are you a Native American? Are you an Aboriginal artist? You must show your Asian roots, and that is your identity, and it's all about this singular person, and that is very different from the Eastern approach. And there's also studies around how you view the perspective as well. On the Eastern culture, they did a test where they had a fish tank, and they asked people from the West, what do you see? And they asked people from the East, what do you see? The people from the East, they tend to go and see the background. They're able to see the back, versus the Westerners, they see the largest fish in the tank. And I think it's a different perspective of that. And it's really fascinating for me to both understand the East and the West, to kind of blend those in and kind of see the differences and how do you play with that. And you can also just see in Asian art, like why the background is always so ornate or so busy is because people are drawn to that backness. So I think it's interesting to see the differences and how does it work. The US is kind of funny sometimes, but that is one of the things that I've learned. Yeah.
Do you have any trouble to balance each side?
I think so. It's interesting from an art perspective because when you live in the Western here, people automatically want you to bring in your Asian heritage in. Me as an artist, in some ways, I don't want to be known as the Chinese designer or the Chinese artist. I want to have my own point of view and my own perspective of what that should look like. I do like to pull from my Asian roots and perspective. It's nice and comforting to be able to pull from a cultural place of relevance, which I think is really great. But at the same time, like, I want to do something innovative and modern and global, yeah. And the last show with the stuffed animals was kind of me like rejecting all of the past and the culture and being like, all right, what can I do that is like a global message around play and comfort? But then now I'm working on a new project, and I'm making the Chinese lion dance head. So I'm going back to the roots and playing that, and I find it very comforting to be able to pull from that. So it's both comforting to be able to pull from your past and your culture, but at the same time, I don't want to be known as the person who is seen as like, oh, he's the one that does the Chinese art. Like, I think that is okay, but I think there's more to us than just our culture. I think we are a global citizen. Even in a lot of the research that we do, when we go out into the field and do research, one of the trends that we're learning is everyone is global citizen now.
Yes.
There's so much immigration across everywhere. You might be from Africa, but you live in London and you have all these roots. And that's what's happening with me. I am descendants from Hong Kong, the Guangzhou area, but grew up in Canada, but an immigrant in the US. So it's kind of this whole globalization of it, and we are global citizens anymore. We're no longer just one thing.